Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Joshua Rivas.
And I'm student meteorologist Nikki Perrini. Today's date is December 1st, 2014, and it was a beautiful day at that.
Absolutely, and you can definitely feel the warmth coming back. We got a ridge on the east and a trough in the west, and plenty of nice, I'd say nice country weather coming in our area. Not hot, not too cold.
Very true, very true. And with December 1st being the first day of the end of hurricane season.
End of hurricane season ended yesterday. November 30th is the official end of hurricane season. And back in '05, we had those storms go all the way into December. This year, I don't see anything happening.
No, we're looking quite calm out there, but let's go ahead and take a look down memory lane and bring it back to what happened
This
first
year.
storm of the season.
This year, Arthur, you flew into that storm, didn't you?
I did. I flew on it. I was on a P3 with the Hurricane Hunters, flew right on into it. It was a Cat 1 at the time, but it did increase to a Cat 2. So.
Sounds intriguing. Category 2 hurricane to start off your whole career as a hurricane hunter. Woo, wow.
Oh, that's exactly how I would describe it, actually. Turbulence was fun, but it was actually the storm that made it closest to the United States as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was, of course, Cat 2 hurricane. And speaking of hurricanes, even though that was the closest one and it was closest to landfall here, that was really the only one. And we had 8 total named storms this year, and 6 became hurricanes.
That's right. Only 2 were in the tropical stage. You still had the tropical depression, tropical storm, but that's it for hurricanes. We're actually going to go send it out now with a look on the local with Josh. So tell us more about what's going on. Satellite and radar, I see.
Absolutely, and take a look at that. And you can see right there, not much clouds going on. And you know why that's the case? Well, I'll tell you why. There's a ridge in the Atlantic right now, and that's really affecting our weather as well. And it's continue to do that the whole entire week. You can see plenty of clouds streaming in from the Atlantic, but again, so warm and sunny, that's what the ridge is going to help us do this week. Clear and cool overnight, so we got plenty of no clouds to interfere with the cooling off the ground at night. So we'll get cool overnight and warm and rather comfortable, dry conditions in the afternoon hours. And next week we'll look for another system to make us a little bit cooler temperatures. We'll watch that closely. For tonight, 55 degrees, clear skies again. You can tell cool and crisp. Winds coming out of the east with that ridge to our east. So you're going to have winds coming out of the east. High today was 79 degrees. Our low was 43, average 69. So we're actually above average today in Tallahassee. And it's going to continue throughout the rest of this week with that high pressure in control. And Nikki, speaking of, we get that ridge and trough pattern. So ridge in the east, that means no weather or no interesting weather for us. So we got plenty of sunshine to go around here. And we got troughing in the west. That means you get really good, strong systems over in the Pacific Northwest.
Right, and actually that will be staying off to the west for now. It'll be moving in slightly, but not actually impacting our weather.
I think the models have it near 10 days without much happening here.
Exactly. We're not seeing any cool down until really into the beginning of the next work week. So we're looking quite nice for now. And actually, the normal highs for this time of year is 68, so we're quite warm.
Like I said, we had 79 today, and wow, you can definitely feel it when you walk in the sunshine. The shade, it felt really nice today. So, and that's really going to be the story for us this week, right?
It's very true. It's actually interesting to hear also, a record low for today actually set back in 1979, 20 degrees for a low.
Wow, I remember we were dealing with those low temperatures before a couple of weeks back, and now they're long gone.
Not again, you were close, which is the funny part. So it's like you broke out your winter attire and you're putting it back in the closet. So.
Well, we did reach near 21 that one time, but that was about it. So really, we're not talking about really record low temperatures anymore. So let's head right back out there and look at the locals again. So again, there you go again. Low today was 43, so you can definitely tell what a rebound today. 40s to 70s, or actually near 80 degrees. So you can definitely tell the effect of dry conditions, clear conditions. You can definitely tell we rebound quickly throughout from night to afternoon. Here's the water vapor. Wow, not much green to talk about. If you see green, these are the mid to upper levels, and that means moisture. Here, I don't see anything. We got a stationary front to our northwest, and that is really going to be the key maker for areas in Alabama, Mississippi, Atlanta, Tennessee. That's going to be the maker. But as you can see, the orange right there over the Atlantic, that's the high pressure. And guess what? That's going to be in there for the next few days. Here's the radar looking at rain with that front over Tennessee, Kentucky, and we got sleet and snow talking about there over near Indiana, Ohio area. So plenty to talk about up there, but that is not going to reach us here. High pressure in control, dry conditions throughout the week. Here's Central Florida too. You're nice and dry as well. A few spotty showers here and there. You got that brisk east wind coming off the Atlantic. So a few showers here and there are possible across the East Coast, Space Coast, and over into the Sun Coast as well. Moving over to Louisiana. Let's switch to Louisiana. We got another area of showers associated with the other end of that front. But other than that, there is not too much to talk about. Here's what's going on in the future. You got that front right there, so you see the precipitation rather nice on the model. So let's take a look what it shows. Well, again, that front really starts to stall out to our north. Not really going to do much for us. So what does that mean? We're golden. That means plenty of sunshine conditions going around, warmth, comfortable going on throughout this week, and that continues on. Let's take a look through Tuesday. Yep, through Tuesday and really throughout the rest of the work week as well. You can see, like I said, the spotty showers across the Space Coast. We get that brisk east wind, so you get a really good chance for showers across the Space Coast. But here, they're just not going to make it. We're just too dry to get that precipitation going in our area. So again, through Wednesday, you see clouds here and there, partly cloudy skies, but other than that, not too much to talk about. For tonight, 55, clear again. For tonight, cool and crisp. The winds east at 5. A little bit windier closer to Jacksonville, say, and down into Central Florida as well. For tomorrow, we're going 75. Look at today, though, 79. So we could easily go up higher than this, but we'll go 75. That's still above normal and pretty nice, warm, and comfortable. So that's really going to be the case all week this week. Not much of a change either. We're not going to go all crazy in the 80s. We'll be right in the 70s. So as you can see, 75 for tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, a little bit cooler, more clouds to talk about. And then eventually Saturday and Sunday and Monday, we have that system possibly affecting us coming into next week. But other than that, not too much.
Not too much
really
at all.
nice.
It's actually looking quite nice. I'm excited to see some warmer conditions throughout the much of the week, and then we'll see some rain chances pop right back up on the board.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next week.
Absolutely. And again, it just depends on how far that makes it this far south. We could really see some good fronts going on, and really, other than that, we're going to head back to the wall.
Yeah, let's go
with,
check it out
Shane.
with Shane.
Hey guys, thank you. Thank you very much. Now it's time for the southeast. Let's take a look at the front we've got moving across the country right now. We're under a big bubble of no trouble right here in Tallahassee, just here at the Big Bend region of the southeast right now. And they're off across Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, some of northern Alabama as well, are getting spotty showers associated with that cold front. But the real story with this cold front isn't the rain. There really isn't much to speak of, barely getting out of the blues. That's the lightest rain on the scale right now. It's the temperature change that we want to take a look at. And let's see how much water vapor we've got associated with this system as well. So I step off here so you can get the whole picture with this system. We've got a nice big pocket of dry air down there across the Bahamas, near Nassau and everywhere down there. We've also got a rather impressive amount of moisture, though. It's not coming out green on the map right here. It's this very bright line moving from Tupelo to Montgomery and Atlanta across the state of Alabama right now. Now let's get to that temperature change I spoke of, and here is where we can play that game of find the front with this and the next several graphics. It's remaining relatively stable, the temperature here over the southeast right now. Difference is only 6 degrees here in Tallahassee, 3 in Savannah, 4 in Atlanta. A little warmer than we were yesterday, which makes sense as we did get up to 80 degrees. But down in Little Rock, 35 degrees cooler. That is remarkable. Let's work our way through the next few graphics here. We don't have to try very hard to find the front. Even if you can't see the color on this map, the difference in shading right here, the dark blues indicate the cold region behind the front. The oranges indicate the warm region ahead of it. Relative humidity tells the same story. We've got all this moisture, 90% relative humidity in Tupelo, 85 in Little Rock, only 53 here in Tallahassee. We're relatively dry because we haven't been hit by the front. There's that radar again, and you can see those showers moving through the Tennessee region now, just out of Nashville. Not much to worry about there. They're not severe. They're barely much rain at all, just enough to cause you to break out the umbrellas for a few minutes. As for tonight's forecast across the southeast, we're looking for lows of 48 in Montgomery, 51 in Tallahassee, but only 33 in Little Rock. As for the highs tomorrow, equal differences, only 44 in Little Rock, while we climb up to 77 degrees in Tallahassee and 80 in Orlando. What do you think about that, guys?
Kind of crazy to see how warm we are over much of Florida, especially because back in 2007, that was not the case for much of the United States.
Absolutely, and again, that goes back to the pattern that we're in. We switched from troughing in the east. That brought us nice cool downs
Right.
and plenty of almost record-breaking cold. Actually, record-breaking. We actually had records in the lows, but troughing in the west means those storm systems coming across the Pacific Northwest, and so they deal with some flooding possible. Back in 2007, they had that issue.
2007, yeah, they actually did. They had some power lines down. And this is all normal with these storms. I mean, you have that troughing, ridging, like you were saying, that pattern. You have systems like these, and this really ends up with some catastrophic events. Power lines down, that's
Absolutely.
not so
And
safe.
hurricane season, well, we didn't really have too much to talk about the hurricanes in this year, but they had hurricane force winds in the Pacific Northwest. You can get those with these kind of extratropical systems that move into the Northwest.
Yeah, you really don't realize this is happening, but we're going to go ahead and send things back out to a look around the local national, with Cody.
Thanks, guys. Well, let's take a step back from the southeast and let's look at what's going on around the U.S. Right now, today's highs, well, what we're really looking at is we're seeing starting to have a warming trend, but the real cold point right now is Minneapolis right now at 6 degrees. But around here, right at the southeast, we're having 79 Tallahassee, 78 in New Orleans. So it's getting warmer in our area, but along the Midwest region, even into the north, it's still staying a little colder than we are right now. And that's really because we have this nice front area going on right there. And you can definitely see that with the 24-hour temperature change. You really have a nice clear picture of this huge front that's coming through this area, and you can definitely see, and it's reflected on the 24-hour temp change. We have 39-degree temp change, 33 and 31 over in Dallas, Memphis, and Detroit, respectively. And that is going to, be the kind of story we're going to have all week. But as far as what that translates into as far as current winds goes, we have a lot of strong winds in that area. You can see 16 Dallas, 16 Memphis, 9 in Detroit. But everywhere else besides Billings, not too much as far as winds go. So our radar, what we really have as far as radar is, well, you can see right now a whole lot of nothing. But when we zoom in, we definitely see along this front area, we have a nice area of moisture coming along with that cold front, which is going to bring some rain, but not going to reach down enough to hit Florida, but it's going to stall out there. But taking it over to the other coast, we have this nice low pressure area that's going to bring some nice polar Arctic air into that area. So if you like that cold air, you're definitely going to like that development over in California. So maybe California will take a break from being a little sunny and maybe get those couple days of showers that they're going to get. But bumping it back over to the southeast, we definitely see the same trend. We have that nice cold front in the area, and that's going to, translate into some colder air right around that area. But airports, we do have a ground delay over in New York, but other than that, you're looking at some clear flights right around the U.S., so I wouldn't worry unless you're over in New York. But tonight, we are going to drop down a little bit over in Tallahassee, but the real story is this colder air that's going to really depress the temperatures down in over in the Midwest. But that's pretty much just going to stay the same. But for right now, what we're going to do, we're going to send it over to Nikki with the second local.
Thanks, Cody. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to bring things back home to Tallahassee, the capital city of Florida, and we're seeing some warmer conditions, warm, sunny days for much of the Big Bend region. But that's okay because we do drop it on down at night. Overnight, we bring it back to those cool, crisper conditions, and for the beginning of next week is when we're really going to be seeing those cooler conditions making their way back into the forecast, getting out of the 70s, back down to the 60s, but unfortunately, we have a whole week of above average temperatures before we get to that point. But current temperatures right now, 71 in Tallahassee, quite a above average evening for much of the Big Bend region, 80 in St. Mark's, 74 down in Carabel. So we can see much of the average temperatures, above average temperatures for much of the Big Bend region. But that water vapor, Shane was talking about it before, that front we were describing that's off to the northeast quite a tad bit is not bringing in much moisture at all. It's actually looking quite dry, and that's pretty odd for a cold front right now. It's normally bringing in some moisture, but it's not. It's actually quite a dry front, and it won't be reaching our area at all. We're actually going to go ahead and scoot on over to the radar, where we also see drier conditions for much of the Big Bend region. You see a couple of those higher clouds in the sky, maybe right on the coastline, but really back home, quite clear, big blue skies for much of the next week. So that's terrific. Futurecast, let's take a look at what's going to be happening throughout this next week. Take a look at these next couple days. Monday, that cold front we were talking about is going to stay right there, not reach our area, but we'll be bringing that golden glow to much of the region, and then pushing on off to the north just a tad bit, actually becoming a stationary front. So it'll scoot on up, stall out across much of the southern eastern seaboard, and then this warm front will actually branch across much of the Carolina area into Virginia and really just hang out. But what does that mean for us? Clear skies. So that's terrific. We're going to be seeing nothing out of the ordinary. We actually have rain all around us, off along the eastern seaboard, like we were talking about, also seeing this rain. But back home, not too bad at all. So we'll keep it. We'll take it for now and see that cool down in the beginning of next work week. But beach and boating looking quite nice if you're going out tomorrow. UV index isn't too high, actually all the way down to 8, so quite normal for this time of year, and the water is down low as well. If you are going out on the water, taking the boat out though, be aware there is some light to moderate chop. The waves will be at 3 to 4 feet, and northeast wind 10 to 15 knots. So a little bit more on the brisk side if you're going out tomorrow, but for tonight's forecast, nice and cool, nice and clear. We're seeing 50s across much of the board, 55 in Tallahassee, 54 in St. Mark's, so really just the 50s across much of us. Even over in Perry, 55, so everyone's in the 50s. And for tomorrow's forecast looking quite nice too. We have 70s across much of the board, so that golden glow is going to be remaining all week long, which is terrific. So let's go ahead and look at the 7 days. 70s across much of the Big Bend region, like we were saying, and those rain chances actually do not make their way back into the picture until the beginning of next work week. So what do you guys think about that, Shane and Cody?
We think that looks great, and thank you so much, Nikki. But let's bump out a little bit and take a look at what's going on around Florida. I hear that we have a color run coming up, don't we?
We do indeed, Cody. We've got that color run coming up this Saturday, December the 6th. It's going to be here in the Sunshine State. It's returned just in time for us to live up to our name and actually give everyone some sunshine.
Well, that will be really nice for the runners. And if you don't know anything about the color run, what you do is you wear a lot of white and actually you run a 5K. It's a 5K race, so about 3.1 miles. And they actually douse you with some wonderful colors as you run through the race.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun. And we've got clear weather promised for everyone and pleasant temperatures as well. It's going to be really beautiful.
Definitely. And just make sure you definitely wear some goggles so you don't get any of that powder in your eyes.
That's true. It looks like fun to take pictures afterwards, but I don't want to keep that color in my eyeballs all day. We've got a lot of beautiful warm colors on the map for around Florida right now, which Nikki is going to tell us all about.
That's right, guys. Speaking of the color run, man, that was a great time. I did that a year ago, and you have color coming everywhere. Kind of like this map. You have a little bit of yellow that comes in. That's about, kilometer number 1, and then kilometer number 2, you're all the way up in the green. They throw it at you, get you in the face, and you got to wear the sunglasses. Otherwise, you start eating the color, and that's just not fun. So that's not good, but the map is looking quite nice. We got colors all over the board. So 70s for much of the Florida region, and as you work your way up to the north, we're seeing the greens and the blues, and that's indicating that front that's actually up to the northeast. For the 24-hour temperature change, though, we can see Florida pretty consistent, not changing too much at all, which is quite above normal for this time of year. We're seeing 70s across much of the region for our high temperatures, not exactly reaching that 80-degree mark, but once again, very warm for this time of year. First day of December, nobody wants to be sitting in the 70s. We want to see those cooler conditions, but we'll save those for next week. And take a look at the radar. So we have a couple of those spotty showers moving on in with the sea breeze. You can see them just pulling on into shore. A couple hanging off in the Gulf as well. Not bringing any rain for much of the area, but still out there if you're hanging out on the beach, you might get a little bit of a drizzle or two. As we move on up, though, to the Tampa Bay region, we have this one cell that's scooting across the area, just actually exiting off to the Gulf of Mexico. So he's not doing anything but dropping a little bit of rain for those folks underneath him. Really just hanging out. So very dry across much of the state of Florida. You can see those showers we were referring to, a couple off to the coast in Jacksonville, but really staying quite dry for this time of year. For tonight's forecast, though, we're not going to be getting any colder either. You can see down in the south, their lows are the same temperature as our highs. So we reached highs in the 70s for much of the Big Bend region, and that is tonight's lows. So Key West 72, Miami 72. They are not warming up or not cooling down, might I say, at all. So that's not that bad. We're seeing temperatures pretty low, though, for much of the area tonight, and those temperatures will be dropping as well as next week moves in. We'll hopefully be seeing some 40s, maybe even some 30s into the beginning of next work week. But for now, we're going to be remaining quite warm for tomorrow's temperatures as well. So 81 in Tampa, 83 in Fort Myers, 80s across all to the south of Florida, and 70s as well in Tallahassee. So it's looking quite nice and quite warm at that. But we're going to go ahead and talk about the winter weather, which is exciting. No more tropics, Shane, right?
That's right. This used to be the tropical graphic, and then we updated it so that we've got a snowfall background here, which is very appropriate because that's what I've got to tell you about. Here's the current snow cover over the U.S. right now. No regions are completely buried right now like the Great Lakes region was under all that lake effect snow a few weeks ago. Very impressive snowfall totals there. But the most snow we've got here is here in northwestern Montana, where they are flirting with the heavy part of the scale right now. That snowfall extending around the Rocky Mountains down into Denver and Colorado Springs. The skiers are definitely loving that in the mountains up there right now. Let's take a look at what the temperatures are on the map right now. And there is an incredible spread right here. Let's start with Phoenix. They're at 73 degrees right now. San Francisco's at 63. Relatively mild California climate over there. That's to be expected. Here in the southeast, we've got 72 in New Orleans, about the same, 71 here in the capital of Florida. But now we take a look at what the great high pressure system over the whole center of the country, that's these darker shades of blue that are really indicating the border between the warm and cold air masses. That's where the cold front is right now. And up there in the north, we've got, well, 37 in Dallas. That's not too far north, which goes to show how deep this cold system is right now. It's really bringing the cold to Texas. Then we jump to Kansas City, where they're at 23 degrees right now, and Minneapolis down another 20 degrees to just 3 degrees above zero. This is the Fahrenheit scale, and they are really feeling the effects of the cold there. Now let's turn our attention out into the Pacific. We just wanted to show you this because of the really impressive spiral on the map right here. We see this counterclockwise rotation here. That's around what we call a low pressure system. And it's going to be moving onto the California coast over the next few days, bringing a lot of chances of heavy rainfall. They've actually got flash flood warnings issued for parts of Southern California near San Diego. And given how dry of a reputation those regions have, it really does go to show how abnormal this is. But back to the winter weather. We've got that cold front that we keep talking about, and this is the northern side of it. Here from Illinois into Indiana, we've got wintry mix and a lot of snowfall as well. Let's turn our attention to the north now. We see where we've got pure snowfall. This is that classic lake effect snow machine that's really coming across Lake Huron and moving over Lakes Erie and Ontario, not dumping a lot of snow on Buffalo like they saw, and they're all very grateful for that, digging themselves out of almost 6 feet of snow. Now here's the 24-hour temperature change map. That means this is the difference between the temperature 24 hours ago and the current temperature, and it really is remarkable. A 39-degree difference in Dallas. That means it was almost 40 degrees warmer this time yesterday around 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Now Denver is something interesting. They're up a lot as well, 22 degrees warmer, but that's relatively speaking. That's just the math. That doesn't mean that it feels warm at all. Up there in Billings, it's 21 degrees warm, but they're getting snowfall, so they're not going to be telling you that they feel warm at all. Here in the southeast, we remain relatively stable. The temperature has not changed too much. Now let's take a look at how the temperature will change. That cold front is going to continue to descend across the U.S. and bring a lot of chances for decreasing temperatures, dangerous wind chills. We'll get to that in just a matter of moments. Let's look ahead now to what we're going to see tonight. 51 degrees in Dallas, 26 in Minneapolis, 34 in Billings, and 39 in Seattle. I'm wrapping up here with the current wind chill map because that leads into the story that Cody and I are about to talk about, and that is a very dangerous wind chill situation going on. Look at that on the map, negative 12 degrees in Minneapolis right now. So this is all associated with an Arctic blast that's bringing really dangerous wind chills to the upper Midwest.
It definitely is. So dangerous sub-zero temps up in the Midwest. How cold are those going to get?
Well, let's take a look at what we already saw. We had wind chills in the negative 30s early this morning on the Canadian border near North Dakota and Montana. Those are really dangerous. I mean, we're not just saying it's cold outside. It's so cold outside that you don't want to be out in it at all if you can help it.
And I believe you were saying that it's associated with a strong bubble of high pressure over that area?
Yes, it's a funny thing. We usually call the high pressure a big bubble of no trouble here in the southeast, but this is definitely not no trouble. It's bringing a lot of dangerous cold temperatures up there to the north. So yeah, but definitely not down here in the south, and you're about to give us the local forecast.
Oh yeah, let's bump away from those colder temperatures, and let's just kind of look at what we have going on right here around around Florida. So our current temperatures right now, we're actually sitting pretty nice right now. 63 Tallahassee, 64 Monticello, 62 Quincy. Not too cold, not too hot. I think it's pretty good weather for myself. But, you know, as we start to get into Tuesday morning, those are going to drop down just a little bit. So we're going to get down to 58 Tallahassee, 58 Monticello, 58 Quincy, pretty much around upper 50s, lower 60s around the board, around the Big Bend region. But as we get into Tuesday, it's definitely going to heat up a little bit. So any jackets, beanies you might want to wear, definitely going to need to take those off because it is going to get a little warmer, and that's just because we have that beautiful sunshine in our area. But again, during the night, it's going to drop down, get to about the mid-50s every single night for the remainder of this week. And why is that? That's because, well, really, we don't have anything going on in our area. We have that nice cold front coming to the north, but that's not really going to hit our area at all. It's just going to leave us with some nice sunny temperatures, a little warmer in the day, a little cooler in the evening. But if we zoom in on this, I mean, we have some rain over in the Gulf. We have some rain up above us, but I mean, not going to get anywhere near us. It's going to stay nice, sunny, and that cold front is actually going to stall out and become a stationary front. And if you notice up here a little bit, you actually get a nice little warm front in there. So they're experiencing some warmer temperatures. They have a stationary front that's going to keep giving them a little bit of rain and going to keep giving us those clear skies. So it's going to be nice. Well, nice for me. I don't know about all of you, but it's going to continue on that for the next couple days. But tonight, we're going to get down to 55 in Tallahassee, 55 Monticello. It is going to cool down, like I said earlier. But tomorrow, it is going to start to heat up. It's going to get 75 Tallahassee, 75 Monticello. But you know what? That's really good weather. Nice for walking around in a park, nice for going outside. We actually have a lot of good events coming up in the next week for Tallahassee. We have First Friday coming up. We have December 6th, I believe, we have a celebration of winter weather downtown Tallahassee. They're going to have great events. So hopefully this nice weather sticks around for a little while because it would be lovely to go out to those events with this nice cooler temperature. But what's that really going to look like for the remainder of the week? Well, nothing until about Saturday or Sunday. I mean, you can see a little bit of clouds peeking out, trying to hide that sun, but it's not really going to do us much good. But Saturday, Sunday, it is going to drop down during that time, but we are going to have a slight chance of rain coming into Sunday and Monday. But other than that, not much. So let's take it on back to the desk.
Yes, thanks, Cody, for that good look at our local weather. Well, I've got to say, the radio says it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and I think it is, but it's just not feeling like it right now.
Oh, no, not really, but, you know, if you've lived in Florida for any amount of time, this should start to feel a little normal, but we always hope for those colder temperatures.
Yeah, being out of state, of course, December means that it should be feeling colder, but the Christmas lights are coming up all the same. In fact, we've got the Tallahassee Winter Festival this weekend.
We do. I mentioned a little bit of it before, but it's Saturday, December 6th. It's from 3 to 10 p.m. And it's going to be downtown in the Clement Plaza. And as you can see, we're definitely going to have nice weather for that. On Saturday, it's going to be 70 as a high, 57 as a low, so it should be nice for that Jingle Bell run.
Yeah, that looks like beautiful weather to start off on Saturday, only starting at 57 degrees. That's going to be beautiful weather for running. 70 degrees in the afternoon, like I said, not feeling the Christmas spirit, but maybe we will when we get out to Clement Plaza. It looks like we're going to drop down to 48 degrees as we get into the early hours of Sunday morning. So it should be crisp weather, just enough to break out a jacket as we go and taste those candy canes. But if you like our show, you can always follow us on all the social medias. Facebook and Twitter, we're on there at FSU Weather, and you can watch us anytime on livestream.com/FSU Weather, or follow us on Instagram or YouTube.
That definitely sounds great. I'll be checking us out later tonight.
Excellent. Thanks for tuning in this Monday night. I'm Shane Pendleton.
And I'm Cody Winter. You all have a good night.